Once a year, Tony has to have a shave, put a small yellow sack over his head, and bob up and down while reciting some poetry. Why? Now I'll read that again. Once a year, Tony has to have a shave, put a small yellow sack over his head, and bob up and down while reciting some poetry. Why?
Were you worried about the mathematical questions? Was that a bit much? Because we're going full the other way now.
A yellow sack?
This sounds like it's more in my wheelhouse. Did you know, I can't remember which king it was. One of the early Henrys, Henry I or Henry II, had an official court farter whose job was to
Roland the farter, whose job was to once a year perform a jump, whistle and a fart.
I choose to believe that this guy is he's got the same job, but instead he has to jump up and down singing the Biscuit song with a yellow bag on his head.
Or maybe the modern equivalent is just the Olympic synchronized poetry reading, swimming, bobbing thing. In my head, he's bobbing in a swimming pool. The word bob implies to me
a classic event that we all enjoy every 4 years.
Yeah, they brought it back. Used to be in the ancient Olympics. They brought it back. Yeah.
Traditional Greek sport.
But first he shaved?
Yes.
Because you said he had a shave. And is that just like a Britishism, like for shaving? I'm going to go have a shave.
Do you not say that?
I didn't realise that was invalid American dialect. You're right. You can absolutely go to have a shave. There's other things you can go to have a, but shave is what we're going with here.
Yes.
Okay, so he did that. Are these things like in order? Like, so he had a shave, then he put on a yellow sack, then he bobbed up and down while reciting poetry.
Correct.
I'm just assuming this is a weird English village tradition.
I mean, they used to do that in our pub for Michaelmas every year.
For a moment, I believed you.
Thanks.
I could believe it, but this is something that everyone at Tony's workplace does annually in our present year of 2025 and all years prior.
Everyone does.
Does it matter what poem it is?
I don't think the poem matters, no.
Just a poem.
It's just the poem being recited.
It's one of the weird rituals from Cabin in the Woods, and it stops the evil coming into the world for another year. That's the British one. I don't know if you've seen Cabin in the Woods, like horror movie. The Japanese ritual involves like schoolgirls chasing away an evil demon, and the American one is a slasher movie. They never said what the British ritual was, but I can absolutely believe it's a man in a yellow cap bobbing up and down reciting poetry while clean shaven.
If you wanna replace every part of the answer with a metaphor, that would be correct.
Go ahead. If you want to say something that's wrong in every part.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm wrong. I know what I'm wrong.
But I would love for that to be the answer.
So you said, is it a yellow hat or a yellow sack?
It is a sack. It is a sack.
Like a bag.
Is he dressed up as a character?
So, okay, I'll give a couple clues. First of all, the colour of the sack is not relevant. It just happens to be yellow.
Okay.
The second clue. The sack has a clear window in it.
I don't know of any sacks that have clear windows. All right.
So this has to be to see out of. Which
think.
in my head is I've got the Simpsons intro with that thing that Homer Simpson wears to keep the nuclear stuff off him.
Yeah.
It's that kind of protective bag thing for your head.
But in order to not blow up the nuclear power plant, we must appease the radiation gods.
Yeah.
That is kind of on the right track.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I mean, every science lab has a shrine. Like, is this just a weird ritual to appease the science gods?
It is not a ritual, but I'm hearing the right sort of words that would compose the answer.
But like, why would he need to shave? So I was assuming just shaving his face, but maybe he has to get rid of like all body hair or something for this situation where he has to. Maybe it's not just a sack over his head; it's a whole get up, and he's going into a clean room.
That's why I was thinking synchronized swimming.
That syncs up with being in the water.
I understand it as facial hair grooming.
All right.
So what? Like, he shaves so that he gets like a tight seal, right?
Jenny's on the right track.
And is he reciting poetry at a certain rhythm, like how you say when you're doing CPR? It's like at the beat of I forget the name of the song. Staying Alive,
or Another One Bites the Dust, depending on how optimistic you're feeling.
Yeah. So all it says here is he reads the poem and he says it out loud.
I wandered lonely as a cloud. Is it to help him time something, like the way you'd when we like during the height of COVID we all had to sing happy birthday to time how long we had to wash our hands.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Like you've got to sing 2 Hail Marys?
Not quite, but I would say that Tom and Jenny, like together, you've got a very close to the answer. All right. An unpleasant liquid is used during this procedure.
So that's the sack is to keep the liquid out of his eyes, I guess.
But he has to shave as well.
Why would he be shaving? Why would he be saying poetry?
Is he breathing in this liquid? But then he wouldn't be able to talk. Never mind.
Well, except if he's got like a big gas masky thing on and dunks his head in the ooze, the mystery ooze.
Oh, is he testing the seal of the bag?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I would say that is what it says in the answer. But how does this work?
You said he was bobbing up and down.
He must be trying. So he shaved his face to get a clean seal. He's got this. It's a sack, a yellow sack, or it's a sack of some sort with a window on it. So some sort of headpiece that's supposed to like seal against his skin. And he's testing it by moving around and talking and breathing through it to test the seal. And so that he doesn't. So
wait, is he like reciting poetry because he's like a diver or something like that, and you just need to make sure the communication link's still open? Like if he stops talking, you have to pull him out really quickly because there's danger?
I would give the answer to Wren. Like I feel the only thing we need to figure out maybe is how does this unpleasant liquid play a role?
Yeah, what is this liquid? This is
so that he doesn't like smell it or anything like that, or get breathe it in.
Exactly. So
what?
Every year, hospital workers are required to undergo fit testing for respirators, face masks and hoods, a sensitivity solution, which is a liquid with a foul taste, is sprayed while the worker wears a mask. They have to do several exercises, such as breathing deeply, moving the head around, bending at the waist, and another one involves reading out loud. And if they can taste the liquid at any point, the mask is deemed to not fit. And men...
Someone I know had to do this. How did I not
so
get this?
My wife is a nurse, and at the beginning of every year, she has to do a mask fit test where they put the mask on her face and they get it fit, and then they spray this really, really terrible smelling stuff around her, and she has to like move through this stuff and to make sure she can't smell it. But that's just like a regular like N95 type mask, not like a full like sack over her head. So that's why I didn't make that connection.
I have a slight like relevant story.
We're in wildfire times in LA, aren't we? Yeah.
It is wildfire times, and this is not my house. I've been staying with a friend for a couple of weeks. But I remember I went back to my place. I bought one of these.
Like the full face respirator.
Mm-hmm. This is a full face P100 respirator. And I went back and I had this on. And it took me a while to realize that actually the place was super smoky because it worked so well. And I had fit tested it properly. And I realized, before committing to staying there for the night, I should probably check. And it indeed smelled like musty campfire, and I scarf it off again.
I know someone who's had to shave for that fit test, and I just did not make the connection. The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.